I am more than happy to welcome a Tyrian player on both games. Benjy, thank you very much for this game. Well, the rhythm was really hard to read against BBL, and they had really like a strong momentum. How did you feel?
I mean, I felt like we had this like momentum at the start of both games. We would make a mistake, and then it would they would gain momentum, and we didn't know how to stop it. I think, right now we're kind of at a dip. Like we had the super high performance when we were like Kickoff, Masters, when we qualified, and I mean we talked about it when we had like team huddle. It's like most teams, they have like a dip in performance at some point, and I think that's what we're going through right now, and it's kind of just trying to make sure we get out of it instead of just kind of giving up and staying at this point. It's making sure we go upwards. So
because it must be really hard, to start from the top. Like at the very beginning, no one was expecting you, especially with Patitek as a sub on Kickoff, and you qualified to Masters, and your run in Kickoff is just legendary, and then you arrive on regular season, all eyes on you, and it seems a bit like you already have some expectation that you have to reach. It's like we have to deliver because we delivered before.
I don't feel pressure about losing, but it is kind of hard. Like some of it may be due to like burnout. Like we've been grinding so hard, ever since we got the roster together, and then obviously we had to practice super hard with Patty to for the transition. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things, but we just got to make sure we figure out what it is and fix it, because we're just making a lot of like mistakes as a team. Really.
Usually, like teams that have to play with a sub don't go as well as you did, right? Your story made me think about the CGRS.
The CGRS, they got like they got like third or something.
I think they were third. It's like I felt it was once in a lifetime that this thing, and it happens for you too. So I mean, it's a sad but beautiful story at the end of the day. Let's talk a bit about yourself. For the end of the interview, I made my homework and I figured out that since the beginning of the game, you were pretty quickly focused on the role of sentinelle. Back in Enterprise, I saw that you were playing Reyna. In officials
one game.
Also.
One game.
But usually like Killjoy, Viper and stuff. Was this your choice, your initiative, or did you receive advices from coaches or people around you?
I mean, when I first joined Enterprise, I joined as like a duelist initially. But I was playing Sentinel on some maps, duelist on some. It was more because in Enterprise we had a duelist called Alexic, and he liked playing duelist on some maps and not on others. So I would kind of pick up when he didn't want to.
Right?
Exactly. But then I kind of realized in officials I wasn't the best on duelists. I realized if I didn't have a strong start to the game, I would, it was hard for me to get back into it as a duelist. I kind of just made the full switch maybe a month or two into playing with Enterprise, and
Well, do you think there is I wouldn't say an additional value, but usually people tend to say that experience comes with age. You're very young, but you have such a huge experience coming back from another game, Fortnite. How would you say your additional value was coming from another game, which is not an FPS, into Valorant?
I think just having experience on stage helped. I played in the Fortnite World Cup when I was 15, and that was still the biggest tournament I've ever played in, even with Master Madrid. So I do think it's a lot different in Valorant though, in terms of being on stage, because in Fortnite you've got 100 other players, right, or 99 other players.
It wasn't the same,
so you're not, the center of attention isn't on you. But with Valorant, when you go on the stage, people are looking at you, people are going to be focused on you. If you do a bad play, they're going to see. So even my first few LANs, I remember, I think my first LAN, big one was LCQ last year, and I was a bit nervous for that game. And even for the first game of Kickoff, I was also a bit nervous. But since then, I haven't really been nervous. And I think that does kind of come with experience. I think people would see me playing all these big tournaments of Fortnite and be like, oh, he's just not going to be nervous. But I was still getting nervous.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. So.
But I was still getting nervous. And I think it's just it is a lot different, Fortnite and Valorant. But I do think there's a lot of transferable skills which helped me. I know, I knew how much time it was going to take to go pro, and how much I needed to grind. So I stuck with it, and now I'm here. So.
Yeah, and I think that now with your career, you made a lot of mouth shots.
100%.
You're not just that kid of Fortnite that switched and is just coming like this. I mean, you show that you have the level to play in Tier 1, and can't wait to see you bounce back with Woods very soon.
Thank you
for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.